I'm not down. Hi, Luna. Hi, people that are coming in. I'm started a little bit early, so I'll just wait. Did you all get to see the video I did earlier on? I took a bit of a walk around by where I live. It's just love it, absolutely love it. Jet, will you go and lie down? I don't know what's the matter with this dog tonight. Thank you. Hi, Jukes. Hope you're well. Hope you're well. I just hello everybody coming in. You'll just come all in at once. I hope everybody's well. Hello, Marzos. Hey, Lungan. Lungan, I was going to email you actually, but I can say it because it's not a problem. Hey, Coco. Hey, sweetheart. I hope you're well. I saw it when I was saying I didn't actually know who Kimmy was. I did actually look into it because somebody directed me to a channel, and I know the lady that you're all talking about now. She goes onto panels sometimes, onto people's panels, and she does really, really get bullied on there. Hi, Warrior Bunny. Hope you're well. Hello, Annie Rage. I hope you're well. Yeah, so I know the person that you're talking about now. Can everybody hear me okay as well? Can everybody hear me okay? I've got my microphone on. I can't tell if it's coming through or not. I'm gonna put the link up in a little while so people can come up if they want to come up. You're welcome to come up if you want, Coco. Just getting out the shower. I don't know where Hooves is. We haven't got Hooves in yet, I don't think. Have we got Hooves in? I hope we do. See, all my chat know each other as well. It's brilliant. She's getting out of hospital tomorrow, I think. I believe she actually did a live on, I think it was yesterday. She did a live yesterday. So, hello, Hooves. We've just been waiting for you. The dogs are getting bonkers right now because of the long guys. Yeah, so I looked into it because I wasn't too sure who you was talking about at the time, and I found Kimmy's website. I was directed to Kimmy's website anyway, and I found out, and I have reached out to her as well, because I know the woman that you're talking about, and I do feel really sorry for her, to be honest. You're just eating. Yeah. My Hooves is in the house. Yeah, so I found her anyway, and that's the main thing. I know who she is now, and I've made contact. I also heard as well that Letitia was in the hospital, so there's not been any contact with her, I don't think. I know she had 2 weeks left about a week ago, so with any luck she's in the hospital, and she's being taken care of that way. I mean, obviously the baby needs to be taken care of as well, because she's not in the right mind to be looking after herself. Well, it's a shame. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. So yeah, I've reached out to them people anyway today. I've just come over from Rap was actually live a couple of minutes ago, And oh, his mods are they're disgraceful. My mods, honestly, they are lovely people. Well, most nights Rat will come into my chat, or you see him every night. So I just said hi in his chat, and the first thing his mod says was "fuck off, strength within." That was the one mod, and then another one, and then another one, and then another one, and then guess who shows up in the chat? Bitch, a fucking leader. So she's still around. She's still around, unfortunately. Hello, Amazing Grace. I hope you're well. Have I ever been to White Rabbit's channel? Yeah, I have actually. She has a really good chat as well. I kind of like the chat in there. Again, I noticed as well. I don't know if BDAC's in the room yet, anyway, but I did notice as well on Kimmy's videos. Kind of BDAC's always there giving her that bit of support and stuff. So again, that goes to show that is a stand-up. He's a stand-up-ish guy, because it's been going on for a while, and you do see BDAC kind of trying to chill her out a little bit or keep her calm and stuff. So fair play to him. Let's see. Oh, they're terrible. It's terrible. So I'm not. If Rat wants to come over, Rat can come over. That's his prerogative, whatever. But I'm not going to I'm not going to disrespect him. If he chooses to allow his mods to disrespect me, then again, that goes to show character, doesn't it? Because my mods wouldn't do that, because my mods have respect for people. Hey, sweetie. Oh, bless you. Oh my gosh. Oh, Jayla, if there's anything we can do, if you want to send me an email with regards to any charities or anything like that, that's just send me an email and we can get that up as well. I'm really sorry about that. It's terrible. I'm sorry. He's lovely. He's lovely. BDAC is really lovely, to be honest. Yeah, and this is Coco as well, right? Yeah, it's the same thing, Coco. I'm not in the market. That's it. I don't need a leader. I lead myself. Nobody's off the table to me when it comes to bullies or scammers and stuff. If I think that somebody, especially somebody I care about, hello.com, is being bullied or scammed, then I will definitely be calling that person out, and there'll be no ifs and buts about it. But apart from that, I do what I want to do. I go where I want to go, and I speak to who I want to speak to. And I don't disrespect anybody that comes into the chat, unless it was Benny Keys or Bitchalina, because they have no redemption with me at all. So anybody else, you're welcome over. I had a long message earlier on today. Actually, it was lovely, but it was really, really long, and it was off a girl. And she said that she kind of came over from the other side, and she's been silently in the chat for a while, and she's been supporting me for a while, and she kind of wanted to let me know. And I said to her that I don't see it, just because you watch me and just because you sub to me, that doesn't mean that you can't go and watch, Benny Keys, or, I'm not that pettish, I'm not like that. Everybody's got the right to do and speak and see who they want to. I wouldn't, just because I don't like somebody, I don't expect you not to like them as well. I'm not that childish, I'm not like them people there. That's just not what I'm like. Let's see what we've got. Yeah, 100%. 100%. You know, put some prayer hands up, you know, and I really wish and hope, pray for the family. That's terrible. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Okay, so maybe there's something we could maybe do to help help with that there. I'll have to look into it, and if Jayla maybe emails me the charities over, we can get them up in the streams. That's terrible news. It really is. Hello, Jessica. Hello, Moreau. Hope you're well. Hi, sweet pea. Hi, darling. Yeah, so you know, it's just I don't want people to think for a second that, you know, just because you listen to me, you can't listen to people I dislike, because, you know, that's just a childish mentality, and it's a very childish way of thinking things, I think. And I think if creators actually take offence to that, then that's their childish or egotistic problem, not mine. I have been actually ridiculed a few times for allowing certain people up, or talking to certain people, or helping certain people, and I give them the same answer every time, you know. And it's as simple as that. Nobody rules me. Nobody rules me. Nobody tells me what to do. Nobody tells me to help. Nobody tells me who I can watch. Nobody tells me what to do in my normal life. So nobody's going to tell me what to do in this virtual life. That's not going to happen. You know, I've got this passion where, you know, I want to help the underdog, you know, the person that's struggling, the person that gets up each morning and, you know, struggles to face the day. And, you know, these are the people that I want to reach out to. You know, those people that are sitting in their house on their own and that are vulnerable to scammers. You know, you don't have to be there. You can be over here where, you know, you're not going to get none of that. You know, I mean, it doesn't matter what age you are, whether you're 20 or whether you're 60. I think we can all fall for scammers and predators online, you know. And it's really sad, you know. It is really sad, and we know a lot of them. And I'm not gonna be calling out creators today, because we all know who they are. I don't feel the need that I have to you know, give light on their names at the moment. But yeah, that was the chat anyway over there. And well, not the chat, that was the mods actually. Nobody in the chat said a word, but it was the mods that was really rude, you know. I'd love to come up as well. You'll have to let me know when you're gonna start going live again if you want, and you know, I'll come over. That'd be brilliant. That'd be brilliant. Yeah, we need to kind of make a, you know, a point of being in a place, you know. I was thinking about starting a backup channel as well, and do more you know, more of the same kind of things, because we know we're getting all these, there's a lot of jealous people out there, and people that like to try and strike you for things. And I've got no strikes, and nobody's tried to strike me yet, but I'm well past halfway now to being monetized. So we're getting there, guys, and I want to thank you all as well for your support. I don't know what you guys are doing, but you're just sending a lot of people over it, and it's amazing. Let's see. Yeah, yeah, we need. I remember. Exactly. We're grown people. We're grown people. We're grown people. We're not children in a playground. That's like saying, "Oh, well, you can't be their friend because you're my friend." People did that shit when I was at school. We're adults now. We're not in a playground no more. We don't bully people. That's not. That's very. That's a childish. A very immature way of being in life. If you have to come up by bullying people, or getting off on other people's misery, that's not I don't know how people live like that. I don't know how people live like that. I get more satisfaction out of helping people, and I always have done. Even if it's been just helping an old person across the street, or carrying bags for somebody, or you know uh yeah, if you need, you want any support at all, Coco, I'm more than happy to come up and support you too as well. um what do we have here? Right, okay. If you want to send it to me as well, Jayla, we can actually we'll get something up, or if there's a charity that's running, um we'll get it up and we'll get something done 100%. um it's just that's what I mean. There's so much badness happening in the world that it just all this shit becomes so petty in comparison to what's actually going on, you know? Um No, Coco, I'm saying if you want me to come over to you, when you start back on your lives again, I'm more than happy to come up and support you anytime. Just let me know. Just give me an email, or whatever. Just let me know and I'll come over. Um, yeah, like I said, there's so many other things going on in the world. I mean, there's a war in China and Taiwan, and look what's going on in Russia and Ukraine, and there's humanitarian crises everywhere, and people are up here bickering over stupidness. In comparison to what's going on in the world, this shit is irrelevant. You know, BK and Nick at Twatalina or Wankalina or whatever, it's all irrelevant to the real issues that we should be concentrating on, and most of the humanitarian crisis that's going on. I feel really strongly about that, and I really am thinking about volunteering, um, doing some humanitarian work, not just saying and doing. I really want to do and really want to get out there, and I really want to help, you know. Um, I was talking to Langan in an email as well about I had concerns about the humanitarian crisis in China already. The organ harvesting and all that kind of thing. And the Muslims being killed as well over in trying to escape parts of Pakistan, and there's a lot of women that are being raped and trafficked, and there's so much going on in the world. And it'll be nice every now and then if we can put our energy. We don't have to do it all the time, but just maybe once a fortnight or once a month, put our energy into actually you know doing something amazing. And how even we can do this. We can do this. We can build a community where once a fortnight we help one charity, and it's a humanitarian charity, for example. Um, and people can nominate the charities, and that's a start. That's a start. But myself personally, now my children have grown up, I think more and more about it all the time. About doing this and um going out and actually helping people, getting out there and just we see the suffering on the TV, we see it on the TV, and it's like we've become numb to it. It doesn't shock us anymore. And I think sometimes we have to see it with our own eyes and be in the environment to actually realise, we don't watch the news anymore and sit there and think, oh, what? I'm really lucky that I'm sitting in this chair at the moment watching this shit and it's not my country. You are very lucky that that's the situation, but maybe then people were sitting there 2 years ago thinking the same thing. We have to think about that. We have to think about, I think about it every day anyway, that the children that I'm turning up on the Romanian border that are being stolen and women that are being taken and trafficked, sex trafficked. That's happened constantly. This is a daily occurrence. They've had to send people onto the borders now to help these people. There's only so much we can do with our words. We can all say, oh, I support Ukraine, or I support Taiwan, or I support the humanitarian crisis in Pakistan, or, it's one thing saying it, but something, again, like I say, I've thought about it for a long time. I did want to go for a while and help a lot of the children over in Africa, but that's, a lot of people do that. But the crises that I'm seeing at the moment, they're disturbing me, and I just feel like I can help them and I want to help them, even if it's just, talking to people and just basic first aid and just being kind. People have just come out of a war zone, and if you see a vulnerable person, you be the person that reaches out to them and takes them and helps them. That's what I want to do. That is my long-term goal. And I did always say, as soon as my children grew up and got to an age where they could be responsible for themselves, that is something I want to do. I want to volunteer my time into helping more in that kind of way, but doing it with my feet on the ground. This is the start of the journey that I've wanted to do for a long time, and I hope this goes on for a long time, because eventually that is what I'm going to do. I'm 100% sure that is what I'm going to do. Before all this happened in Russia, I actually wanted to go over to the, to do something with the orphanages in Russia, because that was something else as well that was really disturbing to me. But at the moment, there's more, there's more. And when I go over to Rap's channel and I'm looking at the stuff and the content that they're talking about and laughing about, and I'm just thinking to myself, that's just crazy. It's crazy. 200 people want to tune in to watch somebody being ridiculed. I don't understand it, Rap. I don't. That's your thing, and we've talked about that. I respect you enough because you're respectful towards me, but I will never be respectful towards Nicolina, even if she apologised 50,000 times. It would never happen. Same as Benny Keys. There's no redemption, because people like that never ever change. Right, guys, let me get a link up. Okay, this is if anybody wants to come up. Hello, just last, where you been? Oh gosh, what's happened? What's happened, darling? Oh shit! did you order cocoa by mistake? Oh bless you. So what's going on, long gone? Just lost. Sorry. In a dark spot for a couple of days. Okay. So do you suffer with a depression or anxiety, or is it um is it a regular occurrence? And you get help. That's the most important thing. If you're in a dark place as well, and I say it all the time, the same time every single day I will be going live, and you're always welcome in here. And the reason I go live at the same time every night is because people know that they can come somewhere and they can talk. They can talk in chat if they don't want to come up. The chat is excellent. My mods are excellent. They can give you any advice you need. If you want to come up and speak, you can come up and speak. Yeah, it does. It does. I think sometimes it has to come to the surface. They're just lost. The pain has to surface, because otherwise it's like a boiling pot in your stomach, and your brain starts to fuse and doesn't work properly. You have to deal with these problems, and I think that's what the therapists try. They kind of take you back and bring you back. And I know it's really hard at the moment when you're going through it for the first while, but yeah, it is, Coco. Yeah, when you're first going through therapy, it can be really difficult because you have to talk about the dark days and things that you probably would not normally want to speak about. But the good thing about it is once you get it all out, then it's easier to speak about. And that's now why I can speak about a lot of what I've gone through. When I first started going through therapy, it was really difficult because I didn't remember a lot of the stuff that I'd actually, been through. It was, that's where I was dissociating from myself, so I didn't remember a lot of the trauma. But obviously, with therapy and psychotherapy and stuff like that, it kind of brought a lot of stuff back. A lot of stuff's still really foggy, but it does this. But sometimes, it's not sometimes, all the time, it's better to get it out, because once it comes out, it becomes like a weight's lifted, you know? And go back to what I say every single day. With therapy, they can help you stop being the victim and become the survivor. And when you become the survivor, nothing nobody's going to do is going to hurt you anymore, because you become really strong. And this is what therapy and stuff's for. So, you're not on your own. I'm doing great today. Yeah, that you will do. It is really difficult because it's like you're having to deal with it all over again, and you forget that you actually dealt with it at some point, and your brain's kind of put it to the back, and therapy kind of brings it back out to the front. It is difficult. I'm not going to sit and bullshit you and say everything is fine and dandy, because it is really difficult. But I can promise you that by the end of it, as long as you stick to what they're saying to you and maybe help with medication or whatever, you will come through the other side, and you'll learn how to deal with the emotions that are triggering you or holding you back. They'll teach you different kind of techniques when you're having panic attacks, grounding techniques. There's all these kind of things that they teach you. It's not just all about bringing up the past trauma. They have to bring it up to teach you how to deal with it, and then there'll become a point in your life where you will be able to speak about it, and you're not going to be, upset about it. So, stick with it. Stick with it. I'm doing great today. I'm doing great. That's a that's the thing. Every time people come in my chat, it's the dog. Everybody's used to the dog snoring now. um, yeah, I know that feeling as well. Yeah, that's right. That's right. No, everybody that comes in my chat normally asks who's snoring in the background. It's always the dog. Um, do you know what just lost as well? That look at it like this, right? Okay, look at it like this. So your mother was one of your abusers as you were growing up as a child. It doesn't matter now. My mother she was very neglectful, emotionally, especially. You know, we had no attachment at all. She didn't really care about me as a child and stuff. And I haven't saw my mum in 6 or 7 years, but I know if I got a phone call tomorrow saying that something had happened to her, I'd be there and I would look after her. Of course I would, because I'm a better person. Okay. I am a better person. And just by saying what you've just said there now, just lost, that you're taking care of your mother and she was your abuser, then that goes to show your character. You know, it's very hard when that happens. And this is probably why, again, it's bringing up a lot of past trauma. But what you have to keep telling yourself every day is that you're a better person, you know, and you'll feel better about yourself. You know, that woman hurt you, but you're still taking care of her. You're doing for her what she never did for you, if you understand what I mean. And just for that alone, you know, that should be a big weight that, you know, don't see it as a bad thing. You know, you obviously love your mother because you're taking care of her. We all do. You know, that's a really crazy thing to say, that we actually still love our abusers a lot of the time. You know, but unfortunately, it's hello, that's a light. Hello. You know, you have to you know, you really have to just kind of give yourself kudos there and say to yourself, well, you know, I'm just doing for her what she never did for me. And that makes me a better person. But again, that goes to show your character. You know, you don't have to be there looking after her, especially after what she's allowed or what she's done to you. You don't have to do that. But that shows your character as a person. You're a good person and you're a caring person. Because a lot of people would hate. And I use the word hate as a very, very strong word because, you know, to hate somebody, what is it to really hate somebody? You know, what does it take to really hate somebody? And what would you do if you really, really did hate somebody? Because we say it all the time, but hate's such a strong word. I think, you know, we dislike people. But hate is a strong word. You're doing the right thing, or what, you know, you are doing the right thing. But I think what you're doing as well at the same time is you're bringing up a lot of your past trauma by doing it. So, you know, you need to make sure you're looking after yourself as well. Um, yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, that's usually what's happened. But just last, you know, you're welcome here. You know, you're welcome here, and you can talk, you can get advice. You know this. You're welcome anytime. Um, And that's exactly what it is. It's kind of stop seeing yourself as this, and I don't mean it in this in a bad way, but you have to stop seeing yourself as being a victim. You're growing up now, and you're a free person. You have to break the chains in your mind, because that's what holds you back. And you break the chains in your mind and you become a stronger person, and you leave the victim to one side. That's a different person to what you are when you become a survivor. That's the most important thing in the world. I never say, I'm a victim of child abuse or I'm a victim of domestic violence. I never say that. I always say I'm a survivor. But I used to say I was a victim for a long time. And I was. It ruled my life for a long, long time. Fucked up more or less everything in my life. It really did. And it took me to get to maybe in my 30s, well in my 30s, to kind of deal with things, and we can't all deal with things. I don't expect everybody to be able to deal with things the way I do. I know I'm a strong person because I think my abuse started at such a young age. I kind of built a wall very young. I learned how to survive very, very young. And, it really did make me strong. A lot of people do. But, thank you as well. I'll get back to that comment. Thank you very much. Okay, so I was having this talk the other day. Has anybody ever watched I forgot his name now. He does Many Faces of Kensington. Yeah. It is a difficult thing, tattoos and uniform. Unicorn. It is I've never had a fear of my mum in that kind of way because it was more of an emotional fear. I think you fear a confrontation more than you actually fear the person. That's how it becomes, you kind of, if that person wowed you and smacked you and punched you 1,000 times, it wouldn't hurt as much as having to compensate and relay what's happened. I understand what you're saying. But again, you're 40 years old now and you're not a child anymore. Your mother cannot hurt you anymore, only if you choose to allow her to hurt you. I don't choose for my mother. I don't give her that opportunity to be able to really hurt me anymore. She could probably say anything to me these days and it would just bounce off me. But it takes a long time to get to that stage. But you have to, as I was saying, you have to stop, you have to, at some point in your life, you have to leave the victim behind and become the survivor. And then when you become the survivor, you look back because you're not that same person anymore. And then you start understanding yourself. It's only when you become the survivor, you actually start understanding yourself and you understand what made you vulnerable in the first place. You break things down in your own mind as time goes on. You can choose for it to just, to destroy your life, and you can choose for these people to win, or you can choose to be strong. And I'm not saying you can choose because it's easier said than done. But at some point, you have to tell yourself that, okay, I'm 40 years old. I'm still here. I'm an adult. I am free. Nobody can hurt me. I'm not a victim of anybody anymore and become the survivor, you know? Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, it's um, it's an odd situation, and it becomes it goes one of two ways, I think. Okay. A lot of the time, the abused becomes the abuser. And that was what I was explaining the other day. It becomes a really vicious circle of abuse then, because it goes two ways. Uh, when you're a victim of abuse, whether it be child abuse or any kind of abuse, or it can go one or two ways. It can either make you or it can break you. And it might break you for a while, but if you're strong enough to get back up, then fair play. But then some people, it leaves them a different kind of personality disorder, and they become sociopathic, and you know and want to hurt people, and get a kick out of hurting people because they was hurt. And I was never like that. That never crossed my mind to hurt anybody, especially emotionally. Physically, I have. I've hurt a few people physically, but that's been when I felt that somebody was being bullied, or a couple of times I'd stood up to my one of my best friend's ex-partners, and I beat his ass a couple of times. I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not ashamed of that at all. Can you really hear this dog snoring now? um, I'm not ashamed of that at all. Well, we have to be able to. I actually found some paperwork. Let me just give me a second. I know it's right here. I left it here. Okay, so this is from my psychological therapist, and it's different techniques of grounding for me, because I have the idea. So these are, it sounds crazy, but they're actually kind of working. There's all different kind of grounding techniques you can do, but I found that the mental grounding was quite important for people that have got bipolar disorder, personality disorder, anxiety. I think this kind of helps with all of that. So these are like mental grounding techniques, what they taught me. I actually asked them for the paperwork, and she sent it out to me. So pick a category of objects and try to think of as many objects as possible to fit into it within that category, e.g. Type of dogs, cities, trees, crayon colours, sports, that kind of thing. So pick a letter and think of as many words that begin with that letter. Pick a colour and look for things of that colour in the room or around you. I know it sounds crazy, but the little tiny techniques that kind of bring you back down a little bit, especially with PTSD and anxiety. Came backwards from 100 by threes, sixes, and sevens, or count by prime numbers or perfect squares. Play Fizzbuzz. I don't even know what that is. With yourself, begin counting to 100 or over, but replace any number that contains a number 5. Now this sounds like a mathematical test. Okay, yeah. Pick a word or your name and see how many other words you can fit into it. These are just crazy, crazy these are just grounding techniques. These are just mental ones. So, if you're out and about and you're getting anxious, just go outside, close your eyes, think of a colour, look around you. These are things that do help. And I know it sounds crazy, but they really do. And I have pages upon pages of stuff here that's been given to me. Center grounding techniques, movement grounding techniques, how to make a grounding box. Apparently this is what I need. Now that just sounds like a dog bed as far as I'm concerned. Get a box or a basket. Personalise and decorate it with your construction paper, wrapping paper, and ribbon, stickers, drawings, paint, photographs, glitter, sequins, or anything else that you like. Keep within it a list of grounding techniques, a list of positive affirmations and happy memories, a list of contact information, trusted friends or family that are willing to help and support you. Small sensory objects such as scented candles, perfumes, lotion, hand candles, gum, soft fabric, stress balls, etc. A CD with relaxing music, meditation. It goes on. But I can get this. And if anybody wants this, if anybody wants to read through this, I can get it emailed over to you. My email's at the bottom of the screen. That is the email I use for my everyday life. So, but it's really handy, and I've just read a few off the top of my head. I'm just catching up a little bit with the chat here. Yeah. I take about I think it's 8 pills before I go to bed. And then I wake up, I have to take just take 3 when I wake up and 8 before I go to bed. And that's mostly down to my mental health. But I do it and it works. I think it as well, it's finding the kind of treatment that suits you, because there's all different sorts of treatments, and there's all different sorts of problems. You've got I think doctors a lot of the time diagnose depression far too easily. Are you just depressed, rather than going into what's making them depressed and trying to understand it, because people get put on antidepressants when they're not actually depressed. That they've got PTSD from past traumas or whatever, and antidepressants is not necessarily going to work for you. It might work for you if you're actually feeling depressed. Well, if you're suffering with anxiety and PTSD more so than depression, then getting antidepressants isn't, it's not going to work. So you have to make sure that you're on the right kind of medication. I have to be on an antipsychotic, which I'm not ashamed of. I have to take benzines. I have to take amitriptyline, and I have to take another one called buspirone. And that's kind of to help with anxiety and all that kind of thing. But it's a part of my life, and I don't even think about it anymore. Oh, she's an idiot. I mean, does anybody even like her voice in the first place? She's a whining little bitch. She really is a whining little bitch. Yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of help out there. But if you actually feeling like at the time you actually feeling suicidal, or you feel like you really need somebody to talk to, there's helplines at the bottom of the screen, and that's emergency outlines in the USA and in the UK. Nobody has to be alone at the end of the day. Nobody should ever have to feel alone. You should always be able to have a safe place you can go to, and somebody that is going to listen to you. And I know sometimes it's easier to talk to a stranger. I know that from experience, because you feel that people that will judge you for whatever reasons, and sometimes they do. So if any of you guys out there and you're feeling like that anytime, write down my email address. Now I urge you to write my email address down and keep it next to, keep it in a book, because I answer my emails pretty quickly, especially if they're marked urgent, you know. And even if it means us having to have a phone call, and put you in a safe place like that, I'm more than happy to do it, because at the end of the day, a lot of us feel more comfortable speaking to people that haven't learned out of a textbook, that actually have their, life experience in these things, because they understand you more. There's more empathy because, you're more understood. You're not going to come over here and anybody's going to bash you because you're not feeling right. You know, um, I have obsessive thoughts. Sorry. Yeah, that would be OCD, I think. Again, I suffer with OCD as well. That's a part of my personality disorder. It kind of comes hand in hand with all the other things I've got. But I have it's actually calmed down a lot now. Yeah, they are indeed. My OCD is actually calmed down a little bit now, but I used to have these kind of rituals as such, and if I'd break any of them rituals, then the whole day was going to be fucked, and that's how I used to feel. It was horrible. It was horrible. And the worst thing I think about my whole experience of mental health was that I had to hide it for so long, because I was petrified that if people found out what was going on, in my head especially, that they would try and take my children away. So I had no choice but to learn to be strong and be able to deal with it. Working for the NHS for a long time helped me, because I worked in a forensic unit, which was mostly criminally insane people I was working with, trying to understand, I think, a little bit, and learning a little bit more about the brain and the mind, and all these kind of things. Thank you, Savannah. I had brain damage. I was left with brain damage after I was attacked when I was 18 years old. I've explained about that. So I know maybe some of my issues as well was brought on by that attack. I don't know. But the DID, something I think I've had from maybe 4 or 5 years old. It would have started. I have very vivid memories of between 3 and 5 years old, and then it's like a lot of my life didn't happen. I don't remember a lot of my life after that. I have very, very, very vivid memories of early on in life. Memories that most people would never remember, stuff that happened when I was 2 or 3 years old, I vividly remember. And then, the rest of my childhood, I don't remember much of it at all. Because I suppose most of the way through I was disassociating. Didn't realise. Hi, Sugar Pie. I didn't realise I was disassociating. Well, I think I must have hit, I think, when I was pregnant, when I actually realised that I had something that wasn't right. Something wasn't right. And my granny, bless her, my other granny that's still alive, she's still alive now, she's 90 odd years old. I'm on mother's side of the family, there was Irish travellers, so it was all there was all very spiritual and psychic, and believed in the third eye, and I kind of was brought up to believe that I had that same gift, when I used to hear like when I used to hear things, I wouldn't say I used to hear things. It's like being in a room with a lot of people, but there's nobody there. Everybody's trying to talk at the same time, and it can get so. I think at a young age, they actually thought I might have been schizophrenic. The doctors, anyway, but my granny said it was the third eye, and I was seeing spirits. I remember well, actually, when I was in care, coming to one of the meetings, and they were saying that they was looking at getting a diagnosis. I had ADHD. They give a diagnosis of that. They was looking at getting a diagnosis of schizophrenia at the time, and my nan just went crazy and said she's not schizophrenic. She sees spirits, and I didn't know at the same time. I thought maybe because I knew that some of the people that was in my head was people that had passed. The one was my nan, and she's still with me now. I'm still here now. Another one was a friend that I had when I was 12 or 13 years old, and we was coming out of school. She stepped out in front of a bus, leaned in, and her head was literally took off her shoulders like a car. We was all there. We saw it happen. And that really took a massive toll on me when I was really young. That was really severe. I mean, we went into the road, her head was off her shoulders. It was terrible. But her name was Vicky Connolly, and thank you, Jukes. She stayed with me. She stayed with me. Also had a girl stay with me that was always there talking away, and I believe that is probably me from when I was really young. Maybe that 3 to 5 years old, because it sounds like me. It's crazy. It's like I have a connection to that voice. My nan's voice is very calming when I feel it. When I feel Vicky's voice, it's very calming. And there's other there's other things as well, but it's kind of how can I explain it? I don't hear voices coming out of television or coming out the walls or coming out the doors, or I don't see people walking. I don't have it like that. That doesn't. So they was quite intrigued by me, and they've been quite intrigued by my mental health for quite a while now, because it's kind of common to disassociate, to dissociate from your body. Normally, that's what we do. That's how our brains work. But when it's very early on in, I would say so, honey pie. I would say so. I get a lot of things. I get a lot of crazy things happen. I mean, I can kind of meditate and I can tune into certain energies and feelings, and I can actually. It's like I'm talking to the people that are there. But I've never, I was very intrigued. I had what's the word? Imaginary friends as well. That was the word. And one of them was she was like a teacher lady, and I used to play I used to sit there with this little plastic teapot and these cups, and have this conversation with this lady, like Mary Poppins she was. It's like I'd replace my mum with this imaginary Mary Poppins woman. It was so sad. Yeah. And she stayed with me as well. And I think she's the one that steps in when bad things happen. And she kind of takes the brunt of all the shit that happens to me. And it's probably that one I need to thank for not remembering a lot of the stuff and getting me through a lot of the stuff that I went through. People don't really see me switch personalities as such. I mean, I know it happens to me, but it would normally happen if I was in a really serious situation and I was in danger. It would happen then. But I still dissociate. I can still disassociate myself from my body still, and it feels like I'm outside looking in. Excuse me, I've got tears in my eyes. I'm not really quiet. Yeah, it is difficult. It is difficult. And every day is a fight, It's hard. But I know to be where I am and where I need to be, that I still have to get help, I'm never going to be free of what's happened to me. So therefore, I'm never going to be free of this mental illness. But I did the one thing my mum couldn't do for me, and that was protect my children. And long gone, that's another, answer to the question. I'm not sure how things work with me as such. I don't. I know when I'm not medicated, I have very severe amnesia. Daily, loss of hours of my time. I don't know what's happened, or I can end up in a place and I don't know how I've got there. So for me to be able to live a normal life, I had to come out and say, look, I have got a problem. Love you too, Hooves. I have got a problem. And if I can help other people, because I do understand, I know how hard it is. I know the stigma behind mental health. And I know it's a scary thing, especially if you've got children. It's a really scary thing, especially if you're on your own. Nobody wants to, we look at the stigma of it and we see children being taken away from mothers that are mentally ill. And sometimes there's no need for that. They just need treatment. They just need help. They shouldn't have to be afraid to come to a doctor and say, look, I feel this way. And have to worry about that. Then CPS is going to turn up at the door, or social services is going to want to take your children away. You didn't choose to be that way. You're not a drug addict. You just need help. Everybody needs help. Sometimes having children bring on hormones that we don't know how to deal with. And that can set a lot of women off, and it's postpartum depression, or we call it, oh, Jesus Christ, postnatal depression. That can happen, and women are afraid to go to the doctors and say, look, I'm feeling like this. And then children end up getting hurt, and it's all because of a stigma attached to mental health that needs to be able to stop. Women should be able to go to the doctor after they've had a child and say, look, I feel this way, I need help. And that would save so many kids' lives. They don't realise. Nobody wants to admit that they're mentally ill. Nobody wants to be looked at like they're crazy. Oh, thank you. But there becomes a point in your life where you have to really want to make a difference to yourself, and think about yourself. The hardest part of being an abuse victim, because that's what I would have been, is letting go. The cycle becomes a habit. And it gets harder as time goes on to break free. I mean, me personally, I completely took a nervous breakdown probably about 6 years ago. I'm in a full-blown nervous breakdown. And that was probably the hardest. Even though I've been through so much already, it was something small that triggered a nervous breakdown, something so small. And oh Jesus Christ, it was horrible, horrible. And then I knew then that I couldn't go on with my life like this. I had to kind of swallow my pride and get help. Thank you, Hooves. Thank you. This is life, though, you know. I'm out here and I'm bearing my soul that I'm hoping that in the next week or so, you know, or the next couple of weeks, somebody sees this video and that are feeling, you know, or having the same sort of symptoms, or they're not right and they reach out. Because I have helped a lot of people already over this past couple of weeks. I don't come out and say, because I don't feel the need that I need I don't need recognition for doing something good and helping someone. I don't need to say, well, I need you up here to prove to the world that I've done something good. You know, it's how it makes me feel inside, helping people. You know, that's what makes me different from the others, I think. I actually have a heart and I'm a real person. This isn't a character. You know, you're not looking at a character. You know, this is a serious issue. Cyberbullying, mental health. You know, all the things that we want to prevent out here. All the things that we need to prevent out here. And give people the chance to be able to see people like me and know that they're not alone and there is hope for them. And, you know, if you've got a child or you're scared to reach out to somebody, reach out to me. Just reach out to me, you know, and I'll do everything I can to help you. And if you're just one person that's listening to me right now, in 3 weeks' time, my email address is still the same. It's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. I'm talking to you. I can help. Okay. Don't sit there with your children thinking in despair that you've got nobody or nowhere to turn. You do. You do. And sometimes all you need is that friendly voice and a bit of experience. And somebody's to tell you that you're doing a good job and it's okay to have a bad day. You know, that could save so many lives. People don't realise. Well, you always, you know, why do people have to feel the need to be tearing people down all the time? Why? What is the need? What do people gain from tearing people down? I don't understand it. I've never understood it. I've never ever understood it in my life. You know, look at all the people that we have. Like, you know, we have to. I believe it's important. You know, I believe for a long time that I had a calling. I don't believe that I went my whole life going through the shit that I went through for nothing. I don't believe that. You know, and if doing this is going to save even one life in all the time that I do it, it's worth it. You know, if I can reach out to that one mother, you know, that fears reaching out to anybody else and help her, it's worth it. You know, I know what it's like. I know what it's like. I don't shit talk about things I don't know. You know, I don't. I know about myself and I know about my own experiences. Everybody, as I say, everybody has their own story. Nobody's story is the same, and that's okay as well. You don't have to have DID or a personality disorder. You might just be having a bad day. Just having a bad day, and you need somebody to speak to. My email's across the bottom of the screen. I'm gonna wrap this up early tonight, guys. I hope you don't mind. I haven't got much sleep this last couple of days. It's the time lapse, but I am starting to go a bit later to give you all a chance to be able to come up as well. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. That's right. That's right, Hooves. That's definitely right. Yeah, I think people need to be able to know the difference between doctors, especially. I don't think doctors are trained well enough in mental health. I think they're too quick to give out antidepressants and tell people they're depressed. I love you too, Marzos. I love you, Hooves, Sugar Pie. Just last. Now you've always got a place here. Just know that you've got a place here and you've got somewhere to come. And if you're that person in 3 weeks' time that's watching this now, and listening now, I can help. Don't worry about the stigma of mental health. Everything that we talk about is confidential. I'm not going to come out and I'm not going to give your name out. You don't even have to give me your name. You don't have to give me your name. So you don't have to worry about CPS or social services. We can talk over email. There's no problem. Just if you're out there now or at any time and you need that help, just email me at the bottom of the screen. I urge you to email me at the bottom of the screen. But if anybody's in here tonight that's not subscribed yet, please subscribe and hit the like button. And I'll be back tomorrow with you guys at the same time. I'll also be going live in the day as well. That's exactly right, Savannah. That's exactly right. I'll be live at the same time tomorrow, and I will be live at the same time every single night, so people know where to come and what time to follow me. But I am going to start going live in the daytime. That's exactly right, because they can actually do more. They can actually do more harm than good. I had to tell the doctor for years, I'm not depressed. It's not depression I've got. You're not listening. It's not depression. And then eventually when they did start taking it seriously with my personality disorder, the antidepressants stopped. And then it went to like an antipsychotic, which I know I needed, I needed it. And it balanced me out and it's made me be able to be here now and talk now. Some people can do it without medication. Some people are mentally strong enough to do it without medication. But what I have is different. There's techniques you can use for anxiety, and all these kind of things. But my condition's different, But that doesn't mean to say that I don't understand that, I have suffered with depression. I do suffer with anxiety as well. I suffer with chronic PTSD. I do understand a lot of different kind of illnesses, especially when it comes to their mental health. So just reach out. And like I said, you don't have to give your name. Yeah, please, like and subscribe. And as well, if anybody in the chat knows of anybody that's going through a rough time at the moment, send them over this direction. Just last, just send them over here, and it does help. And just last, I hope that coming here tonight helped you a little bit. And I think what you're doing is fantastic. And keep it up. I'm proud of you for doing what you're doing. And just keep telling yourself every day that you're the better person. You need to break the cycle in your head and leave the victim behind and become this survivor that I know you can be. You're being a better person than your mother ever was. And be proud of yourself for that. When you wake up tomorrow morning, you go outside, lift your head up. Lift your head up. Don't be looking down at the ground. Lift your head up when you walk. That's what these people need. That's what we need. When you go out tomorrow morning, lift your shoulders back and hold your head up, because you've got nothing to be ashamed of. All of you have got nothing to be ashamed of. And I genuinely do care. Genuinely care. So, please reach out if you need to reach out. So we get a lot of good advice in here in the chat as well. That's exactly right. I mean, depression is a completely different thing to a personality disorder. But doctors like to throw antidepressants around quite a lot to any kind of mental illness, because doctors are not really qualified. GPs are not really qualified enough to be able to make diagnoses like that. So, instead of going to the doctor and saying I'm depressed, ask to be referred, and ask to be referred to a mental health specialist that you can sit down and talk to before you start taking medication that you don't need. Because if you're not depressed, antidepressants are not going to help you. If you can't sleep at night, you're having night terrors, or there's different things. Amitriptyline is another thing that I take, and it's a muscle relaxer. It actually relaxes the muscles in the brain, so it kind of stops you from overthinking. It helps you to sleep. There's all different kinds of things for different things. But please, if you feel that you need to, go and get the help. If you feel like you can't, then come to me and I'll help as much as I can. But that's right. That's right. When you leave your house tomorrow, shoulders back, deep breath, and hold your head up. Don't hold your head down. You've got nothing to be ashamed of. Keep your head up. Keep your shoulders back. You're just as important as everybody else. We wear our scars deep on the inside. We do. Some of us wear them on the outside as well. I do too. But we have nothing to be ashamed of. We're survivors. We should be proud of ourselves. Oh, good evening, Pink Warrior. You're going to have to go back a little bit and come on the replay, sweetheart, because we're just about to, what's that one? Yeah, the muscle relaxers just last. They're just that help with your sleep and stuff like that as well. It's difficult, but I hope that what's been said tonight helps you a little bit. And just remember what I says. When you have to deal with your mother as well, in that, take a deep breath, hold your shoulders back, and know and feel proud of yourself, because you should be proud of yourself. You should all be proud of yourself, because you're all still here. You've survived something. Okay? You've all survived something. And you should be proud that you're standing here now. Okay? I want to say good night, and I love you all. And if you, of anybody that's suffering, please get to reach out, and I will 100% help them. Love to you all. Love you, Hooves. Love you, Luna. Love you, Long Gone, very much. Just last, thank you, sweetheart. I love you too. And just be strong. Everybody just be strong. Be strong for each other. Be strong Be strong. Be strong. Good night and good bless.